Hello, this is Lisa LaRose here on Connect to Love on PRNFM, and it is just a glorious day, and I'm so excited for the Awakening series we have today with Carol Collins and also with Michael J. Russ. And it's a very special day for Michael J. Russ. It is his entry day, as a friend of mine so fondly liked to call it, the day that your soul chose to come through to do what it was that you came to do in this lifetime. And so I want to wish you a happy birthday and also happy entry day, Michael J. Russ, and a big welcome to you, Carol Collins. I'm so excited for the show.
Thank you. Hey, can I start with a comment?
Please
happy
do.
birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. But here's a fun fact. The spring before, it was a year before my ability surfaced, and it was 2018. I was doing some journaling, and a thought came to me. And the thought was, what is a soul? Does my soul keep me alive? There's like big question marks over how the thought came out. Or does it do something for me? What is a soul? Does it keep me alive? Or am I supposed to pay attention to it? Am I supposed to do something with it? And that thought lingered. And I wrote a little bit about it. But, you know, when it, over time now, because that's been 6 years since that happened, it was more like the soul is it's a person. When my non-physical being, when my person, all the people that are part of my energy strand, my non-physical DNA, when all of those people got together and decided that they wanted to have another lifetime, they made a decision, and they made a decision to become me, to have me. And so it's like, is my soul a thing, like an object? Is it an object that flows through me? Is it my non-physical energy? Or is my soul like a person? Is it like a being? And I like to think that my soul is my entity being. It's my lives. And they all, on purpose, decided that they wanted my lifetime to exist. They wanted my lifetime to exist. And they put in intentions for my lifetime, and they put in, you know, ideas that would hopefully amount to something. And so now I feel like I have the answer to that question. My soul is where I came from, but it's also who I am, and it's also what was built into my life, and it's also thought that were built into my life, and that I am supposed to. It does keep me alive because it is why I'm here. But it's not, instead of an either or, it's an and. But I do need to pay attention to it. And they do, not guide, but I do need to pay attention to being guided so that I can do the things that they all wanted me to do for the benefit of all of us.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so your whole non-physical energy strand being, and all of the lifetimes, however many you've had, they all did bring you into this lifetime. And they are really, really participating. And they're really, really excited for you to have more and different and better in this day and every day that comes after it. So happy Soul Day. Happy birthday.
Happy Soul Day. Yeah, that's beautiful.
I think it's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of the way I see it, actually, interestingly enough. And I reflect on that just about every birthday for a little while, because it's really special. And I kind of reflect on who I am, what my thoughts are, where I am to this particular point, what I've perhaps accomplished. Just kind of reflect on past and express some gratitude for having the opportunity to have engaged in what I've done and met the people that I have, and I'm grateful for, you know, all the experiences that led up to where I am right now today in my thinking and my being. So it's awesome. You know, this is an amazing place, and my goal is to have, you know, my meaning in life right now is to have more fun, to enjoy it. That's why I'm here. I want to have fun. And I enjoy meeting people and engaging with people. And I just today express a lot of gratitude for that, a lot. And I'm grateful for the two of you as well, very much so.
Yeah, likewise. Likewise. I have a big smile on my face. I don't know, maybe it's coming through my voice, but I just can't help but smiling when I hear both of you speaking. It just fills my heart with so much joy. And
me too. I love these. I love these podcasts. I love that it's a series, and I love that you named it the Awakening series, but I also just find them fun. And I was talking to my guide, who I call James, but is just part of the teachers, and I was talking to him the other day about this podcast. And he said, Carol, what you like is they're both down to earth. The energy is so calming. It's so friendly, and they're real questions. There's no script. There's no, let me ask you these questions and then keep track of time. It's it's unscripted, like you said, Lisa, and it's just dynamic. Wherever the conversation flows, and then the teachers come in and they help it flow further, and it's just really, I love it. I always look forward to it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for being here. And just in case anybody has not tuned into any of the previous Awakening series, Carol Collins is a very gifted Alpha State channel for the teachers, and they are non-physical teachers who bring forth so much information. It just is, sometimes it blows my mind. But basically, it's the essential material, and there are 4 pillars of learning. And within that, it's a whole plethora of information. And I am blessed to be part of the classes, the self-healing classes with the teachers, as well as the Are-Knowing. And I will tell you, it is so amazing. I feel sometimes you just don't know where guidance comes from. So I'm just going to share a quick story because it involves all 3 of us. And so every morning in my busy routine, I have a case of these quantum energy squares. So they're just a very healthy little snack that gets me going. If I don't have time to eat, I just put it in my pocket. I have them stacked up, and I see the boxes every day. Today was the only day that I ever noticed that on the front of the box is a golfer on a green swinging, Michael J. Russ, and a message on the box, which I've never seen this quote before. I bought a whole case of these things, and it says, "Your life is influenced by the energy you bring to every moment." And the only thing I could think about was a thought that came through from the teachers this week that really stuck with me, that your potential is far greater than you understand. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this is affirming for me, my guide, so thank you very much, the fact that my life is influenced by that energy, that potentiality that exists, and what I choose to do with it and bring to each moment is up to me. So I will just kick that ball off. I'll hit that ball off the green. I'm going to take a picture of this box because it's actually quite amazing. I'm going to post it online, and not as an advertisement, but just as confirmation from the guides how something can be right in front of your face and you don't see it until the timing is right.
Did you say it's called quantum squares? They're crackers?
Quantum energy squares, and they have all kinds of organic ingredients like pumpkin seed protein and almonds and dates and organic cacao, organic vanilla, and all kinds of good stuff. But it's a nice thing if I don't have time to eat that I can just grab a little square and feel like I'm getting some fairly healthy nutrition. But again, it's the quantum energy.
I'm gonna look it up.
We're both going to look it up. Are you kidding? That sounds awesome. Yeah, it's amazing that you noticed that there was a golfer involved. That's very unique. That's very unique on this day, too, which is the day. One day. If I don't play golf any other day in the year, this is the day I will play. Sets me free, so to speak. I just love it, mindset-wise, the energy, and I like that. I do bring the light in. It's into the moment. The light being influenced by the energy that I bring to the moment. I bring a lot of energy. Let's put it that way. And
well, next time you get over this way to the Alexandria, Washington, D.C. area, we have to go golfing because it's a passion of mine, and I don't have a strong outlet to do it. Although there is Top Golf not far away, but Top Golf is fun, but it's not like getting right out on the course and standing on the green and standing on the fairway and just really playing. Hitting a golf ball and playing golf are 2 completely different things.
That is so. You're right. You're exactly right. That is so true. I like that. We're getting a Top Golf here, by the way, just to let you know. And it's a totally different energy. Totally different energy than what I enjoy when I'm out. Than what brings me to the course. And what my dad introduced me to that back when I was 8 years old. Introduced me to the game of golf. And we all used to go out as a family because my mother played as well every Saturday afternoon.
Same with me. Isn't this fun? Same with me. My parents belonged to the local country club, and there was 5 children in my family. My brother and I, he's number 1, I'm number 4 of 5. We both play. We play. Like I like tournament golf. I'm a golfer, and golf clothes and all that kind of stuff. And I had someone say to me, so does that mean that you own your own clubs? And I'm like, I've owned my own clubs since I was 8 years old. I have golf shoes. I have a golf hat. I have certain kinds of tees that I like. But the funny thing is, it's like what you do as a kid, you either love it forever or you don't. It becomes something that you just favor. Like, I can watch golf on television, and I love it. Mm-hmm. And that means that I really, really do like golf. I don't like just playing golf. I like golf. Because golf isn't it's not a fast pace. I mean, there's not a whole lot to watch when you're watching golf on television. But it's kind of a funny thing. I can like it, and because I can do it, because it's an activity that I'm skilled at. But when you really like the actual sport, then you can watch it on television. Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting?
That is so true, and you can put yourself in. It has an energy that you can put yourself into. That you have that sense of it, and we started playing actually in the Philippines, way on the other side of the world, and it is when you do adopt it at that age, you're right. It's either something that you are going to take with you for the rest of your life. Now, I will tell you, in all honesty, that I played for about 4 or 5 years, and then because of where we moved to, because my father was in the Air Force, they didn't have golf courses, so I didn't pick it up again until I was 27. And I rediscovered how much I loved it, how much I enjoyed it, how much energy it gave back to me. That's the beauty of it. And then it's been part of my life. I love it, and I can watch it on TV just like you. It is strange how we can watch it, and we can understand exactly what the players are going through. We kind of know what's in their heads. We know what they're looking to accomplish. It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
And you also don't get bored. And that's the thing. So many people just say, "Oh my gosh, I can't watch that." No, this is funny. I don't like to watch basketball on TV. I find it boring. Not basketball, baseball. I can watch basketball, but baseball I find boring. But I can watch it in the stadium, but not on television. Golf is there's even less to watch because there's less action. But it's funny. But here's this funny thing. And I tell you guys, this is hilarious for me, listening to how this conversation has kind of moved so far, is Lisa always says in her introduction, this is unscripted. This is an unscripted podcast. And I'm sitting here listening to you, and then I'm listening to the teachers, clairvoyantly as you're talking. And I'm like, oh, that's not true. Oh, that's not true. This has to be scripted. This has to be scripted from the non-physical place, and then they must. They don't even rely on hopeful intuition, but actual intuition. Because here's Lisa that wanted to talk about a certain subject, and then here's you on your birthday, and here's Lisa that brought up the box and the golfer, and then here's me that brought up golfing and the country club, and here's you. And then as soon as you started to talk again, then they brought into my mind an image of the golf course and how they're going to weave in the lane of potentiality, and they're going to tie it in with golf so that people can visualize. Yeah,
brilliant.
And we're right here. We're so funny.
I just had that thought.
You sure did, because we do push intuition in situations like this, and we don't leave it up for chance. But there's a funny thing. It's not scripted. There's 10 teachers in this conversation right now, and that includes the guide of all 3 of you, and then 7 more of the higher ups. And they are higher up. They are higher up because they no longer do physical life, and that's who we call the higher ups. But it doesn't mean that they're better than us. It just means that they moved in a direction of that, and they are there already, and we are not. So it's a different experience, not better. But here we are. It is not scripted, but it is crafted. Yeah. So let's say that the experience is crafted but not scripted. And we do know what brings joy to the 3 of you, but we also have exact numbers and exact thoughts of anyone that will be listening within the next month, because that's how far we projected out the experience of this podcast. Now, could we have gone further than that? Yes, but we didn't. Why not? Because we don't need to. Because that's enough to make it highly interesting. But also, there'll be another one month after month after month. So because it's month after month, we know that we'll do it again. And so we love what you all are doing, which is just 3 friends gathered on a conversation that you're taping and you're going to air for others to listen to. Now, how does this tie into an awakening or spiritual things or good, healthy living? We like to call it the Good Human Project, the Good Human Project. Because what we do as non-physical beings is we guide people using potential intuition. Now, we don't use potentiality. We use pre-created ideas, pre-created experiences, and then we offer them to the subconscious mind of human beings. And so it's always a maybe. It's always a maybe to receive guidance and then act upon it. Because you can receive it but not act, or you can not receive it and then there is no action to be taken. So what we do as non-physical beings, teachers and guides and others like us, we create experiences for you and we offer it to the part of your subconscious mind that does the manifesting. So when we talk about law of attraction, and that's pillar 2 for the essential material for those that are trying to follow how the 4 pillars fit in, we do love to do readings and we love to do workshops and we love to do specific energy work on people. But we also have designed a specific amount of material based on the soul entity being that brought Carol into this lifetime and what they were wanting. They were wanting to leave behind an experience for their being of having the essential material taught through them. So we're not trying to save the world, because your world does not need saving. Your world is good. Your world is better than you know it to be. But Carol's entity being, when they decided to have another lifetime, which is now her, they wanted an experience of not just channeling again, because it has been in succession, but they wanted to do channeling, be good at channeling, know that they were channeling, and then also have specific teaching brought forward. And normally it is pillar 2, which is law of attraction kind of thing. Her entity being said, the knowing within myself is that what we are wanting is to have some of all of the essential material for this platform of physical life, some of all of it. And we said, how much? And her entity being said, as much as my person enjoys. And that's where the division line came in. They could have identified very specific topics that would meet the mark. That would be the curriculum, predestined curriculum. So Carol's lifetime didn't have predetermined, predestined curriculum. It was, if she likes it, let it flow. If she doesn't like it, but knows of the topic, do energy work and see if you can change her mind. And so everything that we teach, Carol loves. And because she loves it, she asks questions. And because she asks questions, we can teach her deeper. And because she is a person who loves channeling, we get to do it through her in books and interviews and classes and lessons and things like that. And so when we talk about golfing, we talk about fun. When people talk about golfing, they talk about a great many things. It's hard. It's not hard. Now, if you were to have a conversation with Carol, she would say, although she has gotten much better, but she would say, well, I can drive, I can chip, I can putt, but don't put me on the fairway because I hack all the way to the green. And she says, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but she knows what it is. It's her stance, and it's the way she brings her upper body up, and she tops the ball, and it doesn't go as far as she wants. But she's beautiful as a driver. She can chip. Amazing, just like the pros. It goes up, and it lands, and it's short, and it's quick, and she's got the wrist action to do it, and she's a fine putter. But so the way that she describes golfing could be a great many things depending on what? The emotion that she has in the moment. So we love the box, Lisa, and your guide said, let's use this. So your guide brought that to the group of beings who were crafting some ideas for this conversation, and they said, this ties in perfectly. And so it is wonderful. It is wonderful. Now, Carol's mind, when you gave the name quantum energy bars, she said, oh, does that add, now you didn't hear this part, but she's talking to us as you're talking. Does that add confusion to the grid? What are the ingredients? And we said, and that's when Lisa added the ingredients. And then Carol's mind said, oh, no, that's all quantum. Her inner mind said, that's all quantum, because it is. Because the seeds of things is the quantum energy of the plant. Quantum is life force energy. That's what quantum is. And so it's a beautiful name. But what also, Lisa, that was contribution from your guide. And it was some pushed intuition in a way that would cause the conversation to go in a certain direction. Who wants to talk about potentiality? You go first. We'll jump in.
Actually, I wanted to mention, because you mentioned the seeds, and there was something so powerful in the class this week that was about Carol's personal experience, that when she goes to bed happy, and the more that you go to bed with those thoughts and you have happy on your mind, you're planting the seeds of what you are bringing in more of. And so the more that you bring happy into that grid, and more you plant those seeds, you have the potentiality of waking up happy, so that you can utilize that to manifest and create what it is that you want. And I love the way that they explained it, because they said your potentiality is microseconds of happy. And I thought to myself, isn't that amazing? Or a microsecond of an agreement to something that you want to manifest. And I would love if the teachers could expand on that, because we think that it has to be something so grand, and here it's a microsecond. It just blew my mind. So, and I'm still smiling, by the way. I'm not a golfer, but let me tell you, this whole conversation has me smiling from ear to ear. My cheeks are going to be sore at the end of this show, but I've got a big smile on my face.
Now this is how reverberation occurs. Now, Carol knew that you were not a golfer, but she didn't know it because you told her or because she read about you. But she had a knowing that you were not a golfer. And so she was about to say, although she chose not to, she was going to say, well, and of course, Michael, you and I will go golfing and Lisa will drive the golf cart. Now, she chose not to say that, but she could have, and she still would have been correct, and Lisa would have laughed. Why did she not say it? Because she was unsure if what she thought she knew was correct. And so it is correct. But the inner mind already knew it was correct, because it felt the reverberation of less desire on that topic to do the activity. So when we talk about microseconds of information, let's just say a seed. So when you think of a seed, the seed has everything. It is not only the life force, quantum, soul energy of the plant, but it is also everything, every micro atom that is needed to cause that plant to become that plant. It will have the roots and the stem and the leaves and the stalk and the berries or the fruit or the flowers. It has the color and the depth and the originality. The seed has everything, but the seed is tiny. You think of a 500-year-old oak tree and how large it is. How did that oak tree begin? Tiny little seed. And so when we say microsecond, we mean a seed of information. But in that seed, it is a seed because it is depth of emotion and some subject and a little bit of an entire experience. And so all totaled, it is micro expression because it's brought all the way down to all of the emotions that are coupled into the topic and how that topic was expressed in the physical world in one moment in time. And so it's general, gets more specific, and then gets more specific. When we talk about the psychic nature of the mind, it moves in quantum speed, meaning its quickness, but it also moves in seed-like ways because it might gather a little, which ends up to be a lot. So when someone says, I'm a golfer, the inner mind says, I know what that means. I like to be outside. I like green. I like to do sports. I like athletics. I don't like to run. I like to walk instead. Sometimes I like to do things like I like golf carts. because it will skip a couple of steps and then it'll find another major topic. I like golf carts. And so you will always have it's like a run-on sentence. You come up with a topic, the inner mind keeps going on that run-on sentence. I like this about it, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. You know, there's some leadership forums. We won't name them so that we don't isolate anyone. But there are some leadership forums that guide people into being able to talk on a subject for 60 seconds. And there is cruise workshops that like to do the same thing, because you take an idea and then you run with it. But it's not always easy to do. You think and you fumble for words. Should I say this? And your mind suddenly goes blank. But the inner mind never goes blank. You give it a topic, it continues without ceasing to say, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this, I like this. Or, I do not like this, I do not like this, I do not like this, I do not like this. And it depends on what your emotion is that you brought into the topic in that moment in time. So, micro-expression, it is the potentiality of your future moment. It is planting seeds in the inner mind. And then the inner mind gets to choose what to manifest on your behalf. So you want seeds of goodness. You want seeds of joy. You want seeds of things that you like to do. Because you could be happy in an environment where you don't agree with the activities that are available. And so you might be a happy person who's bored. And so what you're wanting to do when you manifest and what you're wanting to do when you forecast where you want to be and what you want to do, you want to forecast it in a well-rounded, seed-like, run-on sentence. I like being the golfer. I like golfing on the course. I like when the weather is fair and little to no breeze. I like the golf cart or not. I like nice and easy time so that I can plan my next shot. I like staying on the fairway all the way up to the green. See how you could say stay on the fairway? That means you hit 100 shots and it makes your golf outing frustrating because you're not hitting it very far. So you got to be careful how you see. But I like going with friends sometimes, and I like golfing by myself sometimes. I like when I feel confident. I like when I feel good. Now that's where people really, really, really could do a better job. Because what you do is you start with the subject, like we just did for you, and you never add the emotion. What we want you to do is add the emotion, 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 and then slip in the topic. And if your mind accepts the topic with positive emotion, you'll have another idea, and then you'll be off and running. So it would be more like this. I really like me. I really like me. I really like who I am. I like the kind of things that are interesting. I like how my mind works. I like how connected I feel to my non-physical team. I like my friends. I like my home. I like my life. I like how I think. I like how I behave. I like how I interact with people. And I like doing things, and I like golfing, and I like, now in Carol's mind right now, the word Top Golf showed up. So when you're on this happy track, this happy track of I like, and you keep it emotion, and then you slip in a topic, the next thought or the next few thoughts that come to mind, you on the inside have a deep liking or appreciation for. So although the experience of golfing and the experience of Top Golf are far different, Carol must enjoy Top Golf, not more than fairway play, but she must like it, and it was very current in the conversation. Because if she truly did not like playing golf at Top Golf, if she didn't like that experience, then Top Golf could not enter into her mind after a 30-second string of, I like this about me, I like this about me, I like this about me. So when you're in indecision, what you want to do is slow down, ignore the topic, and then just spend about 1 minute on what you like about you. I like me, I like what I do, I like how I think, and you can make it up. You can make it up, and do make it up if you have to. I like what I do. I like how I look. I like how I think. I like how I feel. I like how I conversate. I like how I walk. I like how I stand. I like my posture. I like my stature. I like my life. I like where I live. I like how I do things. And when your mind starts to come down to a slowdown, then introduce the topic that you're undecided about. Let's say it's a vacation spot, and I like doing things like vacations. Now, in that moment, that you introduce the topic, you will have a word or an image. You will, because the inner mind will give it to you, because it will continue where your spoken word stopped. It will continue. Now, as you are speaking, and you don't notice it, people don't, but the mind is giving you thoughts. Now, many times the thoughts are just automatic, manifested as words, but sometimes there's images. When you slow down and you take that breath and you introduce the topic, you will notice the word thought or the image thought that comes to mind. And if you have given yourself 30 to 60 seconds of I like about me, then introduce the topic, the mind will give you another topic, because that's what you just did. It will give you a topic. So it can give you a whole other topic, or it will give you a subcategory of that topic. And you have to, on the inside, like it or appreciate it because of the wavelength of emotion that preceded it. How do you manifest? You have to start with emotion, and you have to stay with the emotion, but not on the topic. People start with the subject, and they stay on the subject. I want. We want you to say, I like, and then train your mind to bring you positive emotion, because then positive thoughts and positive experiences will follow. It's as simple as that. Your potentiality is the emotion that you bring to the surface. And then there's all kinds of things that happen from there, because the subconscious mind identifies what your current emotion is and then finds experiences. Where does it find the experiences? In physical life. When you hit your golf ball and you drive it right into the woods, and you park the golf cart, and you take up your slacks, your trousers, and you stomp through the woods, and you're trying to find that golf ball, and you do find one, hopefully. Do you know it's yours? You don't. You hope it's yours. Mm-hmm. You look at it, and you say, oh, it's a Titleist 234. Yep, this one's mine. But you don't know. Because you're not the only person in the world with a Titleist 234.
True.
You're not. Okay. But you pick it up, and then you take it as yours. Now, that's psychic nature of the mind. The psychic nature of the mind knows what your emotional wavelength is. That's your Titleist, not Titleist 234. It's Titleist. And so it's Titleist. And then it will seek out more Titleist. And when it finds one, it brings it back to you as a thought. It's psychic nature that goes into the gap. Now, the gap between fairways is usually a little bit of trees or a little bit of, tall grass or something. But the gap with psychic nature of the mind, it's like an air gap. And it's vibrational tall grass. It's vibrational trees, vibrational rough patch. It's vibrations that are in there, and you cannot identify yours from anyone else's. The inner mind cannot. It just identifies what a match is, and then it brings it back to you. That's shared experiences. That's cooperating in the physical world. That is using vibration to connect and expand thought. Who designed the airplane? People from 1.5 million years ago. They didn't have airplanes then, but someone had a thought of, I love how that bird is floating. The idea of I love, and that's the emotion. That's the first idea. I love. So it's appreciation, and it's enjoyment. That's emotion plus emotion on flying. And then 1 million years later, someone creates a flying thing for people, because people had the thought that began with emotion of positivity. Positive emotion plus a thought plus me equals somewhere in the future, me or someone else will get to experience a little more of that same wavelength. And so you might have had a Titleist 234, and you might pick up a Titleist 234. Well, that simply means I appreciate flying, just like someone else. I appreciate flying. Me too. I appreciate golfing. Me too. But the experience that you manifest is unique to you. Because when you draw from the lane of potentiality, it's a thought gap. You have your soul being has its lane of thoughts. Everyone has their own lane of thoughts. And between the lane of thoughts is the lane of potentiality. There are many lanes of potentiality. When your mind goes in your lane and identifies what your emotion is, you're awake. And while you're awake, it's doing that constantly. It can do more than one thing at a time, and it does. So it is keeping track of what your current emotion is, and then also observing the gap or any of the gap lanes that are available to it. And if and when it finds a match, it brings an idea to you. And that's how people expand their thought, expand their desire. But if the inner mind is overactive, it can also bring sincere indecision because you have too many choices and you can't decide. And so there's ways to get around that. But the gap, we say mind the gap, inner mind the gap. That means identify the emotion and the topic and then lean into the gap so that you bring back more momentum for the thing that you are actually wanting. Not just positivity, but positivity on a specific thing. It's specific emotion plus specific topic that we are wanting the inner mind to do. We love the lane of potentiality. We want the inner mind to mind the gap, which means don't go into the gap until you have identified both positive emotion plus specific subject. And then go get it and bring it back, and that's how you manifest faster. Truly, you don't have to push yourself to think and think and think and think, positive, affirmation. You simply need to know that you put it into your thought plane. And then you have to remind yourself that you want emotion first, subject second. How do you do that? You have to say, I like, and then add a subject. Often. We did this with Carol last night. We love platinum membership. We identified it for her and for her business. And we had her last night. She sat on the couch in her living room, and we said, we'd like you to do a little bit of the thought energy. And she said, I like platinum membership. I like platinum membership. And we said, no, you don't. And she said, I do too. And we said, that's the emotion. That's the definitiveness. I do too. I love platinum emotion. I love platinum emotion because platinum emotion means powerfully good because you like the word platinum. That's why we named it that. So she went on this about a 10-minute platinum emotion. Isn't that fun? That's a fun way to phrase it.
It is. So
she went on this about 10 minutes of self-guided thought. I like platinum membership. I like it a lot. I like it because the teachers designed it for me. I like that they gave me all of the information. I like that they designed the benefits. I like how they brought it to me. I like how they brought it to me. I like being channeled. I like being a medium. I like this. I like this. She did that for about 10 minutes. And then she simply said, I was about to watch TV, but now I don't want to. I would like to sit here, and I'd like you to draw it all the way into the grid. And we said, okay, let's do that. Because when you have understanding of Pillar 1 content, that's why we teach all 4. When you have understanding of Pillar 1 and what the grid is, then you have an asking that aligns to how the inner mind works. Yes, you have thoughts that can be drawn all the way through lane of potentiality into your thought plane and then into the grid. And it can be some, none, or all. And she said, I'd like all. And we said, well, this is fun. We gave her a compliment first, and we said, you're a true student because you walk the walk and talk the talk. And then she just said, I think I want to sleep on the couch, and I'm going to let it sink in all night long. And we said, you don't have to do that. She goes, I know, but it feels fun. And we said, all right, then you do that. So that's what she did because the thought was had in her living room. And she said, well, I really like the idea of sleeping on the couch and letting that thought circulate. I like I really like the idea of that being my last thought before I go to sleep and letting it just sink in overnight. I really like that. Tonight, maybe not every night, but tonight, that feels best. And we said, all right then, you do that. And that was fun last night. But it might not be fun tonight. We want people to identify what your preference is. But what you do is you say, I like or I don't like. I can or I cannot. I do or I do not. And we want you to add on to that. We want you to say, I like it right now. And I like it very much. And I think I might continue liking it. But if I don't, I know something else is going to take its place, and I'm going to still feel good about it. You see how that run-on sentence is healthy? It's healthy for your emotional self. Lane of potentiality is real, not an analogy. It is an air gap, and it is the vibration. So, with the analogy with golf, it doesn't match perfectly because what you're wanting to do is when you hit that golf shot, you want to stay in the fairway. All right. Well, with your thoughts, when you have a thought, it stays in that fairway. It stays in your lane. It stays in the boundary. But it also causes a vibration to go into the gap. And that happens with every single thought that you ever have. And so the gap is filled with everything. Now think about everything that's on the internet and how much time people spend on the internet. You are accumulating massive amounts of emotions and ideas in the gap as well as in your own personal thought plane. And so you want the inner mind, the subconscious of each of you, you want it to mind the gap, which means don't go there. Don't go there until you have positive emotion plus a subject that matches something that you're wanting to manifest. And then go in the gap and find a whole bunch of it and bring it back. And the mind will.
That's so fabulous. It really, I love that the gap is not a barrier, but a vibration. And all I could think of was when the teacher started talking was the fact that I get to be the driver. And I can put a cute little hat on and I can enjoy watching you two on the green and play and do something that you love, and that brings me happy. And I love the fact that this conversation brings with it so much potential about so many possibilities, really, that can unfold into manifestation for all of us, and that we have permission, if it feels right, to sleep on the couch, and if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And I love that we have these amazing guides with us. And for this time in this awakening series, when you join us, Carol and the teachers, it is such a gift. And I just want to mention for any of our listeners, if you go to americasmedium-medium.com, you can find out about platinum membership, also about gold, about the monthly Our Knowing workshops, the Unfoldment into Channeling, also the Art of Self-Healing, as well as the books. There's just so much, and including a new wellness magazine that is absolutely fabulous. And the thing that I most appreciate about, and again, I'm not a golfer, but I still have a great, huge smile on my face because this conversation is just filling my heart, and I am going to take the vibrational energy of happiness and joy that I'm getting from it, and I want to carry that into my evening and into the rest of my week and beyond. And
this is me, Carol. So what they just said to me is that's the inner mind expressing to you how it feels about intuition. So remember, they said, this conversation was crafted on the other side and then brought to us with a little push of energy to help make it happen, and then it would unfold. But the inner mind received intuition, but was also verbally complimented by the teachers that it was intuition, and then it causes the physical body to smile. Why does it cause the physical body to smile? Because you have activation points on either side where the top lip comes together with the bottom lip on both sides. There's an activation point. And when you smile, it increases momentum of manifesting. in the near future. That's what smiling does. That's a self-healing content. That's pillar 3 for anybody that's listening. But, the other thing that they, so that's why you're smiling, because the inner mind is saying validation was received by non-physical teachers that what I manifested in this conversation was by way of intuition. It's a powerful exclamation point and validation for the inner mind. But the other thing they said is, while you were speaking, they were talking to me, and they said, the gap and the trees and the tall grass between the fairways. Just think of it as it's the plane of potentiality of manifesting your next moment. But it's psychic activity that goes there and brings back. But it's like sharing, because the thoughts that you think are the thoughts that you have, and they are in your plane of your thought plane. But they're also in the gap to be shared. But it's not just positive and negative, it's not just positive that goes there. It's positive and negative, and all subjects. And so, you have to mind your emotions as well. But that plane of potentiality is how we share ideas, how we amplify somebody else's good day or bad day. It's how we come up with solutions. I don't know. I think I maybe, let's say you got a knot in your necklace and you're looking at it and you're trying to figure out, which section of the knot to pull first or to pull second, or what order to do things. Add any subject you like, but it's, the expansion is I have a little, my non-physical mind psychically goes into the gap and gets me more. So we are all in this together in a way. Everybody thinks, how do I manifest? How do I manifest? How I manifest? Well, borrow from everybody else's good mood, but specifically borrow against somebody's good mood on the topic that you are wanting, but then add me all over it, so that it comes all the way into the grid and accumulates as something to manifest for you. Otherwise, it becomes more appreciation or envy. And it's, so that's another whole topic about pillar 2, law of attraction. But the gap is, it's the thought plane that we all contribute to. It's like a kitty. It's like a kitty. Everybody, you have a thought and you duplicate it and you put it in the kitty, and it's up for grabs. But you have to mind the kitty. You have to mind the gap, because you really only want to pull back positivity always, and the subjects that you're wanting to manifest. And it's fun when you think about it that way. We're all here together on purpose. And the teachers are here on purpose teaching pillar 1, 2, 3, and 4, because when you add all of those up together, it creates such well-rounded understanding of how to be a person and to do it and feel good about what you're doing and what you're getting and what you're contributing, and also how to get what you want on purpose, because everybody contributes everything, and you want to just selective sifting. And then what has been sifted is just those things that you are wanting, with positivity mingled all throughout. And then you manifest it. So the lane of potentiality is where we share all emotions and all thoughts.
The plane of potentiality.
Yeah. Oh, I love that topic.
I love
that topic.
I do too.
I love it. So expansive.
Any thoughts, Michael, that you would like to ask the teachers on your special day about potentiality?
Well, believe they've blown my mind again with this concept, and it helps me understand why how my play and my life flow the way they do. This concept of the gap being the plane of potentiality. I just I think about that and I go, okay, this is great. And somehow I know that I've been using aspects of this without an clear understanding for the last 30, 40 years. That's kind of what I think about when I use it all the time, except for not understanding the mechanics of it, I guess, is what I'm saying. So
everything goes into the gap. Everything goes into the plane of potentiality. And so what do you want your mind to extract from it? Now, every one of us has experienced a bad mood. And some of us have experienced some really bad situations. It's all in the gap too. It's all in that lane of potentiality. How do you train the subconscious mind, which is the non-physical part of you? It is what does that psychic activity to borrow shared experiences, to gather and collect information to help you have enough energy on an idea to manifest. How do you train the inner mind to go after what you're wanting? Well, the way the teachers describe it is, it moves by way of emotions first. So you have to train your mind to bring you happy thoughts and happy emotions. You have to push away from, step away from, walk away from, or skip away from, because when you skip away from something, automatically you feel happier. So you have to think of it that way. The first magnet is emotions. And if you're on a negative thought plane, then your non-physical mind is using that emotion in that moment. Now, of course, don't take it so far as being afraid of ever having a bad mood, because when you're afraid to be in a bad mood, well, now you're afraid on the topic of bad mood. And that just means you become a worrier. So it's more like appreciate the teaching and then apply it. There is positive and negative emotion in the world. We all have it. We all carry it. We all exercise it. We all donate it to the kitty, and we all pull from it. So it's more like be a better noticer. Mm-hmm. And when you notice that you are stepping in the direction of bad mood, step away from it. Because that's the emotion that's you're gathering more of it. And so how do you step away from it? You simply just say, I just experienced frustration. I did. I sure did. I just acknowledge it. Because what people do is they mask it and they push it down. Now, when you push things down, you can have, acid reflux and things like that occur over time. That too is a Pillar 3 topic. But what do you do to get rid of it out of the how do you shift the inner mind from negative emotion to positive emotion? You have to acknowledge what you are experiencing. You have to name it. How do you teach a child what fruit is what fruit? You have to name it. You have to show it to them and name it. This is an orange. This is an apple. This is a strawberry. So you have to say to yourself, that was frustration, and I don't like it. I'm moving on to something else. That was frustration, and I don't want it. That was frustration. I don't like it. Not steeped in frustration, but just acknowledge it and name it, and then identify whether you like it or don't like it, because the inner mind understands that, and it understands that you're using logic. And when you use logic, the inner mind switches gears and automatically moves to positive. And so there's so many different techniques that the teachers have brought forward. And so that's one that I use a lot. That was frustration. I just used frustration. I sure did. I don't like it so much. I want to go to curiosity, and I pick intentionally some other positive phrase or positive emotion. I want to use, I use frustration. I'm done with that. I didn't like it. I'd like to use curiosity. I would like curiosity to, and then I always notice how my eyes start moving around the room. It's like my inner mind is trying to say, well, what do you want to be curious about? I like pillows. You know, I'm as I'm sitting right here on this couch in this rooftop lounge, you know, and I'm doing this. My mind is looking around, and I'm looking at a really cool chandelier, and I'm looking at some chairs, and I'm looking at a footstool, and then I notice more strongly, I keep looking at pillows. Curiosity about pillows. But it could be curiosity about what topic curiosity is going to bring to me. But when your eyes land on something and you choose it, I like to be curious. I'm going to use curious instead. On pillows. I like pillows. And then 30 seconds or a minute is all it takes. And then you have hold the mind. Don't keep bringing me frustration. I like curiosity better. And so always understand that you are your first influencer of what your next manifested moments will be. When you identify your negative emotion, identify it, label it, name it, and follow up with, and I didn't like it so much. I don't like that. I would like to use, I'd like to play with, I'd like to practice with, and then choose a positive emotion and sit with it for 30 seconds to a minute. You will feel better, but also healthier physically. Negative emotion manifests as all kinds of things on our body and our thought process. And then you just have more energy and more and better outlook, and then you just are able to get up and go do something instead of ruminate about whatever it was that was on your mind. It's such a healthy thing that they teach, and it's such a beautiful conversation that we always have, and I always enjoy it. The lane of potentiality. Mind the gap.
It is.
Great exercise.
No, I'm sorry, Mike. I was going to say, to me, and all I could think when your mind, your whys are wandering and landing on pillars, I thought, how many of our audience members who have not joined us before are curious about the 4 pillars, and perhaps that was way to bring it into the conversation. So whether that was my guide, thank you, because I do want to mention, again, if you want to learn more about the 4 pillars and about Carol Collins and the teachers, please go to americas-medium.com, because as the case is so many times during our time together, it just flies by. So I will let either one of you close out the show, because it's just been a delight. And again, please do go to americas-medium.com. You will find a wonderful array of information, both on membership, the workshops, the books, everything, and also the pillars, the 4 pillars. So I'll turn it over to you two both.
I'll say really quickly, and then I'll let Michael close out the show. I had a fun thing happen today that is brand new for the Americas-Medium website. I have had 2 membership opportunities. And so how do you learn about the 4 pillars, and how do you really engage live with the teachers? It's the membership opportunities are the most cost-effective long-term means of doing that. And so Gold membership is the monthly 2-hour live stream workshop with the teachers. It's all Q&A based, and it's just constant answering questions that people have and have submitted. And there's a whole bunch of other things that come with it. And then Platinum membership it's the whole kit and caboodle. It's all the classes, all the workshops, and I added today a wellness magazine membership. So you get the monthly digital online magazine, and you get the archives of it, and you get the invitation to view book dictation, and then you get the archives for that, and you also get the monthly newsletter, and it's $20 a month. So that's powerful information. That magazine is all pure channeled, no clairvoyant, no psychic, no inspired wellness, no just general happy goodness from people, although there's plenty of goodness that people bring. It's all guidance, non-physical teachers, mine, as well as others that have submitted their work to me. And then I always ask the teachers, is this pure channeled? And is it accepted for the magazine? And if so, which edition? And then I always do what they say. So thank you so much for letting me add that. And I would just like to say happy birthday again, Michael. And if anybody is interested in the Wellness Magazine, do sign up quickly in the month of June so that you can see Michael highlighted. His guide, whom he likes to call Jeremiah, provided a beautiful message about love, and it was just perfectly channeled and such a pat on the back for someone who adores meditation and adores his guide and loves his guide so much. So, hey, everybody, Michael is a conversational channeled person, stepping into his own with it, and he is in the June edition number 4, June 2024, and he and his guide, I should say, are both in the magazine.
Thank you so much. And yes, I very much enjoyed that, and there will be a lot more, I can assure you. PRNFM is where you're listening to this broadcast right now, but if you want to listen to it infinitum or share it with somebody, you can always go to Connect to Love, the podcast, Connect in the number 2 and Love, and you can re-listen to this episode over and over and share with as many people in the world in any way, shape, or form you desire. Anyway, thank you so much, Carol.
Thank you so much.
And definitely, Lisa, thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you all. Enjoy a beautiful day, and much love to you all.
Bye, everybody.